entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza.
So we have just gotten new audio connected to Diddy in prison, and this voicemail is getting a lot of attention because of how scared and frustrated Diddy sounds. The audio is reportedly a voicemail Diddy left for a mystery Jane Doe. And right from the beginning, you can hear that he is clearly irritated. Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all. He continues making it clear that he doesn't want to keep going back and forth with her. I don't know. You think you silence treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence, and ain't nobody threatening you. And I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you I ain't got no time for no games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad. I could have a spat. We could have whatever. But then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that. That's all it is. What makes the recording so significant isn't simply that Diddy sounds angry. It is the language he uses when talking about the woman's behavior, the expectation that she should get back on your job, his insistence that he does not have time for games. Now, what job is he talking about? Why does Diddy seem so scared? And most importantly, who is this mystery Jane Doe? We are going to look to unpack all of that and more in this video. First up, who is the mystery woman? Our theory is that this could be none other than Diddy's own mother, Janice Combs. Diddy's mom has been talked about a lot throughout all of this, but honestly, there are still several parts of her story that people barely know about, and some of them are seriously raising eyebrows. First, there was Janice Combs' public statement defending her son, and the reaction to it was intense. You probably remember when Diddy's mother came out and said that her son was not a monster. I'm a very blessed mother, and I'm so very proud of him. Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, standing by her son after his arrest. The 83-year-old telling fans, quote, "My son is not the monster they have painted him to be," as Diddy maintains his innocence from behind bars. "I'm an extreme mama's boy. She just loves me for me." Janice speaking out through her attorney on Monday, blasting her son's indictment, which includes sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Janice calls the accusations a narrative created out of lies. "My son deserves to have his day in court to prove his innocence." Meanwhile, Janice also admitting her son's made mistakes in his past, citing Diddy's abusive relationship with ex-Cassie Ventura and her bombshell lawsuit. But Janice says their out-of-court settlement was unfairly used for ammo in his indictment. But some people completely disagreed with her, and that criticism became even louder after the documentary came out. When Diddy was arrested, and all of these allegations became public, Janice released a lengthy statement. But here is what stood out to critics. Instead of focusing heavily on whether the accusations against Diddy were true, much of her statement was about defending herself. Her message was essentially, "I'm not the abusive parent this documentary makes me look like." She described herself as a hard-working single mother who loved her children and did everything she could to provide for them. But critics noticed that she did not spend nearly as much time addressing the specific allegations involving Diddy himself. And there was one particular claim she directly denied that is worth looking at. Back in 1991, there was a tragic incident at City College in New York. Diddy had been promoting a celebrity basketball game, and the venue became dangerously overcrowded. 9 people died in a stampede, and the incident was absolutely devastating. Afterward, Kirk Burroughs, who was a co-founder of Bad Boy Records, claimed that he witnessed something shocking involving Diddy and his mother. According to his account, Diddy allegedly slapped his own mother after she questioned some of his decisions during that chaotic period. Though we cannot show you footage from the documentary itself, we can show you Gene Deal corroborating the very same incident years before Kirk revealed it in the documentary. "And I remember you told me that you know Diddy. He smacked his own mom. And to be honest with you, man, I really didn't believe it. But after seeing that video of him and Cassie and what he did to her, I believe it now, man." "Well, yeah, listen, bro. Kirk Burroughs, the president at the time of Bad Boy, told me that he smacked his mother. Kirk Burroughs even said it on somebody's platform that he smacked his mother. It may have been your platform that he said that. I remember we was in the car. It was me, Puff, and his mother got in the car with us, and we was in the limousine. We was on, was it 20 West 19th Street or 5 West 19th Street? That was the first bad boy office when they came into Manhattan, not the Scarsdale. I'm talking when they got the first official bad boy office in Manhattan. Yo, his mother got in the car. He was on the phone talking about somebodies or something, and then he said to his mother, "Yo, didn't I tell you to stay out my business? Yo, I want to snatch the shadow off him." I said, "Boy, who you talking to?" I said, "If you ever talk to your mother like that again around me, I'm going to beat the pole out you." Now, people don't know, and people don't understand. Not only was I one of the leaders of the same gang I had been around Puff, and I seen him like when them kids ran him down the block, the whole 9 yards. Me and Puff have been dealing with each other from the red zone to the building when they had unsigned hype and all that. So y'all thinking that, oh, this is just bodyguard and everything like that. Y'all call them OGs. Y'all call them lieutenants and everything like that. I was one of the leaders of the same gang at the time, and I'm not going to let him, as a man and as a person that I am, disrespect his mama. I said, "Boy, if you ever talk to your mama like that again, around me, I'ma beat the person out you." But Jane, I told her to stay out of business. Let me just say this to you right now. If she wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business. And Miss Call sit there and quiet as a church mouse, and he ain't say nothing. He ain't say a word, 'cause he knew I was serious. I wasn't playing with him. Now, I said this before on your channel. Any man that put his hands on his mother or disrespect his mother a ice cube in hell wouldn't last on the way he feel about a damn woman. He'll quick to put his hands on a woman like that. Janice specifically denied that claim in her statement and said it never happened. But according to other people who knew Diddy during those early years, their memories of the family were very different. And to understand why this conversation keeps coming back to Janice, you have to understand her background. Diddy's father, Melvin Combs, was murdered when Diddy was only 2 years old. That meant Janice raised him as a single mother. She has said over the years that she worked 3 jobs to support the family. One of those jobs was reportedly as a teacher's assistant. Another was supposedly modeling, although there don't appear to be many publicly available photos supporting that part of the story. And then there was the third job. That's where some of the darker claims begin. According to people who knew the family, Diddy grew up in a very specific environment, and they believe that environment played a major role in shaping the person he eventually became. Now let's get into the parts of this story that the documentary didn't spend much time on. Janice defended Diddy, but one former bad boy artist wasn't buying it at all. His name is Freddie P, and he was once signed to Diddy's label. When Janice's statement came out, Freddie P responded publicly, and he didn't hold back. You heard about how Diddy's mom came out defending him. She made a comment saying that Diddy is not a monster. Yeah, he not a monster. She is, but I don't want to go there. But she is. She's the monster. Everything in her name, she's the monster. She created that. And y'all going to see that on that Netflix. He claimed she was around during some of the alleged mistreatment and suggested that she failed to intervene. In his view, that made her current defense of Diddy meaningless, because according to him, her own actions and character needed to be questioned first. Now, obviously, those are Freddie P's allegations and opinions, not established facts. But what makes his comments interesting is that he wasn't some random person who had never been around Diddy. He had worked with Diddy for years. He had first-hand experience with the bad boy environment and claimed to have seen how things operated behind the scenes. And he claimed Janice Combs was not as innocent as she tried to seem. Oh, she the devil, bro. That's how I see her. She the devil. Janice Combs is the devil. That got everybody money. Yeah, man. I don't give a what she talking about. Yeah, you go out there tell seeing her defend Diddy. Like, sit your ass down. You're the worst person. You're the wrong one. You actually got, you got somebody that you like that's like R. Kelly coming to talk it up for you. Like, shut up. We don't need you. Oh, D, you innocent. Shut up, Kelly. Not right now. That's her. Shut your ass up. You the reason a man like he is. You had any issues with her? I don't like her. I ain't ever had no issues with her. I just don't like her. I don't like her. Why you don't like her? You personally. Why? 'Cause she got my mother money. That's why. That's why I don't like her. Her son. She right there with it. When all of was going down. They was all everybody who watched that man abuse like him. Everybody who didn't have the heart to speak up. I don't like them. Everybody 'cause I would have spoke up. I don't give a skase about what Puffy would have said to me. Oh no, you would have said Puffy. Yes, I would. Y'all better go look at them videos. Go back and look at the B. I ain't never been scared to say Puffy. That told us to walk for cheesecake. I looked that crazy. I was loud leave that mother room, and I told just like this. They ain't show this part and said, hey, F you Miami, you alright? Yeah, boy, need that cheesecake. I walked up. I got up, I said, go get you a cheesecake. You changing the cause. His D was in there. It was him and D. He was like, yeah, get us a cheesecake. We need this one too, son. So I waited, 'cause I ain't used to no play on me like that. Not funny ass, I know. I beat your mother in ass. Not Puffy, but this little soft-assing air. So I'm sitting there like, oh, soon as I walked up, I got up. They say, Miami, you all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'll get you a cheesecake 'cause you changing the life. But I ain't getting nothing. And they just started laughing and I walked out. I ain't never been afraid to tell Puffy, my mama, my daddy, nobody, nothing. I keep telling y'all I love God. What you going to do? Kill me? I love God. I've been trying to die since I was younger. God forgive me. So to be here is a blessing. I used to ask God to take my life. I want to be with my brother, my grandma. I want to be with my mom. I want to be, you know what I'm saying? This here is whack. Earth is whack. World is whack. Really. If outside of my son. So that's how I feel about it. And then there's Gene Deal. If you followed this story for any amount of time, you probably recognize that name. Gene Deal was Diddy's former bodyguard, and he has been speaking publicly about Diddy's behavior for years, long before Cassie's lawsuit brought many of these issues into the mainstream. Gene has also made some serious claims about Janice Combs that weren't highlighted in the documentary. According to Gene, Janice had a modeling agency, but he alleged that the business was also connected to activities that went far beyond modeling. He claimed some of the women associated with the agency were allegedly involved in prostitution. Wrong, right, or indifferent. She going to lie, steal, kill, and protect her child. That's what she's supposed to do. But the apple don't fall far from the tree. Man, you gotta realize that, you know, he didn't get all this from his daddy, 'cause he didn't know his daddy, even though they try to say his daddy was some big-time drug dealer in the whole 9 yards. You understand? He didn't get this from his daddy. You gotta realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also Ladies of the Night, a prostitution ring too. Or these ladies was doing things other than modeling. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. Yeah. So now you gotta understand, Diddy is looking at her and some of the stuff that he was saying, and their relationship has changed since I knew them. And then the conversation gets even stranger. Gene said Diddy's relationship with his mom became really, really weird, almost bordering on the sexual. This man was talking about that his mother could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor. Bro, he's saying that about his mother. Who describes any of their mother's action like that in a sexual way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that. That's them. That's their whole thing, man. But that was a little kind of weird for me. And then his mother wore the same white fingernail polish that Cassie described that he liked to see her and other models in when she was describing her lawsuit. And what's crazy to me is that, man, it seemed like him and his mother had this, I don't want to get too deep, man, this Oedipus complex thing. You know what I mean? Oedipus complex about a sexual or a sex relationship, whether it's physical or mental, with a mother and a son. So I'm looking at his mother and him on the couch, and both of them are getting IVs after one of the Diddy parties, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, because I wasn't there and I didn't know. But they showed them both getting IVs on the couch. So my whole thing about this thing is that I'm not saying that she was ever at a freak-off, she was ever at that type of party. But you can't tell me Miss Janice Combs, who was always at the regular parties, didn't know nothing about the freak-off parties. This is the same dude, bro, that used to disrespect his mother. So I seen the love now that they have for each other only on film and camera, you know, on the YouTube or Instagram or whatever they was showing it and stuff like that. And according to Gene, the entire relationship between Diddy and his mother gave him an uncomfortable feeling. Gene also said he couldn't prove that Janice attended the private events at the center of the allegations against Diddy, but he believed she knew more about what was happening than people realized. This you knowing her at one point. You knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that you know would be a part of a freak-off? Or no, I think that she liked to party, and she partied with young people. She's always been like that. She always copied or emulated Little Kim and Mary J. Blah, or they emulated her. The blonde hair, the nails, the high boots, the age-appropriate, inappropriate clothing that I want to say, because I know people gonna drag me through it. What you mean? She's 70, 80 years old. She don't have to wear she can wear hot pants if she want to. Okay, all right, you can't make nothing dust moist. Was she a freak? I don't want to speak about that man mama like that, bro. Was his mama a freak? I don't know that about her. But if she was that Diddy freak off at 70 years old, she was just like the rest of them. The freaks come out at night. I don't know that about his mother, man. I know she used to date young guys, but that don't make her a freak. They call her a cougar, right? That's not a freak. That's a cougar. Again, these are his personal observations and allegations, but he believed the overall situation was unusual. Then there are several videos that have circulated online that people have been analyzing over and over again. These clips weren't necessarily presented in the documentary, but critics have used them to question the relationship between Diddy and his mother. One of the most discussed clips involves Diddy and Janice receiving IV treatments. In the footage, they're together getting IVs, and the interaction appears completely casual. They're talking, laughing, and treating it like a normal day. Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom. Call my Dukes. Hi, she's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Ma? Everything's good, baby. I'm with you. Yeah, I love you. I love you too. Freshly dipped though. I was trying to show. Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's single. I ain't going to hate on my mom's. She's single. He also talks about her dancing and moving around. Then he brings up the same thing again, her flexibility. He says she can put her palms flat on the floor, and from there on it gets progressively weirder. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show. She's so picky. She's so picky they don't saint. But yeah, that'll be the funniest show in the world. I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We not doing that, 'cause yeah. My mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting house playing outside moving and shaking. Baby, she come with me to strip club. I don't care, real. It's my dog, you know. I want to live life. We out here moving and grooving. So my mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby. That's right. Keep moving. She don't stop. She could touch the floor with her palms. You know, flat. Take an IV treatment by itself does not prove that either person had participated in anything improper. There could be countless ordinary reasons someone might receive hydration or medical treatment. Still, the clip became controversial because of everything else surrounding the case. And before Diddy was arrested, there were also people who had already been publicly raising questions about him. One of those people was Dapper Dan, the legendary Harlem designer. When reporters asked Dapper Dan about Diddy, he reportedly didn't sugarcoat his opinion. When they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy, I haven't seen that one. Please? They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem, and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy, and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents, he said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. The woman that they're saying is his mother was a prostitute for. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive, not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt. Whoa. There are whispers. Wait a minute. There are whispers. Diddy's story is so convoluted, but nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became puffy. Nobody I would love if I could be granted an interview with him to interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life, up until the age of 15 only. We gotta learn how to stop making Diddies. What made him him? Now his pedigree. He comes from rat background. His father was a rat snitch, not revered. He turned on Frank Lucas, who was the king of Harlem. And Jaguar Wright has also spoken about Janice over the years. She has claimed that Janice was the blueprint, essentially arguing that Diddy learned certain behaviors by watching his mother and following the examples set around him. More recently, a new accuser has come out to talk about Diddy's freak-offs and how Diddy's own mother is caught on tape in them alongside other celebrities. Diddy and his mom and his auntie. They know Diddy's mom is really his auntie, has been claiming to be his mom this whole time. She's the one with the white nails. That's why he has that fetish. She been with him since he was adolescent, 'cause his daddy got killed when he was a baby. Soon as he adolescent, he resembled his dad. So she started him. She's the one that his head up initially. That's why. Oh, allegedly. I might be Tom too much. Nah, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We loving this. We loving this. Yeah, but allegedly, that's why he took Kim Porter out, because he has sex with his daughters. Allegedly. The twins. The whole family has sex. The same girl I was telling you about, that the Jane Doe, the 11 and 14-year-olds. The same girl he made strap Justin Bieber down. And she had to strap him down while Diddy and two of his sons took turns, and she had to sit there and watch. And Justin Bieber was crying and begging to be let up. And when she went to unloosen him, Diddy socked her in the face in front of Justin Bieber. So we trying to get with Justin, 'cause he would cooperate allegedly. Justin call get at me. Justin, we be confidential. We ain't gotta tell the press. Nobody holler at me. Justin, I put y'all together. She was there. You was there. I was already out of it. She told me that story. But Justin, I got damn. Also, you saying Diddy and Nelly was in bed together? He's had a 3 with Diddy and Nelly. Yes, the same Jane Doe. This Jane Doe was around from 11 years old to about 15 years old. Had bore 2 kids. I'm not going to say which one she believe or hers. That he's been raising. You know what? On a side note, where is the white girl? Where's the white girl that he adopted? I got asked about that today, earlier in the interview. I think her name is Ava. Where is she? They said, oh, the twins and staying with one of Kimura's friends who were Kim Porter, where whoever the son's been in New York and back and forth to LA. Where's the white girl? That they was online bragging and proud that they saved her life and everything. Where is the white girl? The deeper you go into Diddy's mom's connection to his alleged criminal enterprise, the darker everything seems to become. Is it possible Diddy could have some sort of trouble brewing with his own mother? We do know she controlled a lot of his money and assets. Could she be taking over them while he's in jail? Is that why he's so angry? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to Blamed of Fame and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive. We are the channel that goes where others are afraid to go. Blamed of Fame, where the truth finds its voice. Now get out there and stay dangerous.